Welcome back, everyone. This is Cody for Government Accountability. It is July 1st, 2026, and we are approaching our nation's Independence Day celebration. And I did have some news I wanted to share relevant to independence, and that is some blame I've been getting for the removal, for the resignations, for the early retirements of 7 county officials in a historic departure of our county government. Now, maybe I am to blame. I'm not sure. I suspect so in a lot of ways, but I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. And more so, I wanted to make sure you even knew this was happening. I've known there are many dozens and dozens of people, potentially hundreds, that know what's been going on here in Skagit County and the efforts I've been putting in and others. But it seems very few are aware of the historic nature of what's going on with our county officials leaving office in a dramatic shift of power. So who am I talking about? First, July 29th of 2025, Commissioner Janicki announced her retirement / resignation. She left a year early. She left early in the term, over a year early. That April, she wasn't supposed to leave for almost a year and a half, over a year and a half. And so that's a resignation to me. We have in December of last year as well, we had a Superior Court Judge, Thomas Verge, formally retiring. And I'll explain why I think he might have left office. April 29th of this year, we had Coroner Haley Thompson announce her resignation. She has resigned. She hasn't left office yet, but she has announced she's going to leave office. And then we have in the primary this year, we found out that we have 4 county officials not seeking re-election and leaving office for whatever reason they want to tell you. I'll give you my belief on it, but one of them is District Court Judge Warren Gilbert, who I've had a number of interactions with. We have Auditor Sandra Perkins, who I, again, have been bringing to the public's attention as a dirtbag. Prosecuting Attorney Wyrich, who, again, major dirtbag, as big as they get. And Sheriff Don McDermott, who's supposed to have prevented a lot of the problems that we've been seeing in this county, enforcing the laws and protecting us from a tyrannical government, and who I think has neglected that and put himself into quite a pickle because I think he's part of the whole gang here that's up for some serious criticism from some other law enforcement that I've been speaking with. So that's who's involved in this. Now let me just give you a very quick, if I gave you a detailed breakdown of every single thing, I think I could put a video out that would last hours. And I'm not here to do that today. So I'm going to give you some highlights of what I think are some important facts about the timing of these retirement / resignations and decisions not to run for office that I think are the biggest parts of what may actually be going on here and why people say that I am to blame for this. And by the way, it's never just me. There are many people that I work with that are doing the same thing. So I just happen to be the face of a lot of this. So first, I'm going to point out this April 24th, 2025 police report. And in it, I bring up a very recently exposed subject of the illegal installation of judges in Skagit County. And there is even more in that police report than I have disclosed to the public yet. In that, I did specifically name as the alleged criminals Thomas Verge, who did end up resigning or retiring towards the end of that year, the same year I filed this. Sandra Perkins, who again is not seeking re-election, and Prosecuting Attorney Wyrich, who again is leaving office, not seeking re-election. Then we go into July of 16th, specifically, of 2025. And that's when a number of documents signed by me and dozens upon dozens of other county citizens, Americans, demanding the removal of these judges and that there be accountability for us not having elections last year, or excuse me, in 2024, was brought to the attention of Skagit County commissioners. And I will point out something that many of you out there may know, but I think many, many more may not know, is this whole controversy about us not being able to elect our judges and these judges taking office illegally, unlawfully, in violation of the rules we, the people, establish, was certified. 2 of the 3 certifications were people, again, that are no longer going to be in our government. Commissioner Janicki and Sandra Perkins, the auditor. They certified that we had an election in 2024 for our judges, when in fact we did not. I think that might be part of this. And of course, I did file a lot of criminal complaints. In September of 2025, actually, I want to point this out real quick. This notice to the commissioners was formally on the record in July 16th, 2025. And I think it is an important coincidence to point out that July 29th is when the public record of Janicki resigning was officially made public. And so I don't think that's a coincidence. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't think it was. Moving on, in September of 2025, I, along with 4 others in Skagit County, 4 great Americans, filed in federal court something that I have never disclosed to anyone publicly. And in that filing, we brought Harmeet Dillon, who many of you may know from the national news, who is a U.S. attorney, Civil Rights Division. And we brought over 600 pages of evidence and a request to prosecute Skagit County officials for what they have been doing to us. This goes back to the 2020 elections. This goes back to a number of things that many of you may or may not remember. So let me review them very quickly here. So this is the actual document that was filed in the U.S. federal courts with Harmeet Dillon in the case, to bring to attention the evidence that we had accumulated and believe had been suppressed by the Biden administration FBI. It includes hundreds. I said over 600 pages. I do believe that. I'll just briefly glance through it here so you can see it. We have evidence of prima facie evidence of judicial crimes and civil right violations that is relating to the judges that has, I recently put a video out that illegally took office that there was no election for. We have evidence of 2023 recall efforts targeting Sandra Perkins again, and Prosecutor Wyrich and McDermott, and their roles in 2020 and 22 federal election crimes. We have another exhibit that provides evidence, evidentiary chain with documentation of 9 HAVA, that's Help America Vote Act, administrative complaints that I filed, and that were federal crimes in what had happened. And we have Exhibit 4, which many of you may remember was an audit report about duplicate ballots in the 2020 election, which many of you may remember resulted in a special agent for the FBI reaching out to me and me sharing that evidence. But again, I believe, as many do and many have found, the FBI under the Biden administration ended up, and leading into it, ended up suppressing a lot of evidence. And that's what exactly this time frame here. The FBI agents contacted me later after the elections, and I believe they were part of that suppression, and I think that's what really happened. So we brought it up again to Harmeet Dillon just this last fall. We have Exhibit 5, an audit report of the 2020 election, destruction of federal election records and statistically improbable voting patterns. That was a late ballot analysis. And if you remember, they destroyed surveillance video of the election. So we had quite a bit of stuff that we shared with them. I needed to share this with you guys. This is being suppressed. People are not talking about this. I have called this the largest shift in power in our county's history. I believe it is. I think it's the largest voluntary departure of public officials in our county's history. And I do believe I might be to blame for that. And at least my efforts along with other people, I can't overstate it. This has been a number of us in Skagit County who deserve acknowledgement for our efforts, and that we will never stop. I will never stop, and that we may finally be seeing accountability in our county government for what we've been subject to and the crimes that have been violated. And I hope that's what this is, because that means that we are on the precipice of federal intervention, which is what we've all been trying to get, is federal intervention into Skagit County to hold these people accountable who, through the COVID era, through all these election eras, were the ones behind everything that took away our liberty, attacked people for their religious beliefs. It was tyrannical. It is tyrannical, and they just want us to forget about it. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I will not forget what they have done to us and my fellow Americans, fellow Skagitonians, and I am here to make sure that we do get justice, that we restore law and order to this county. And I wanted to give you this update. So I do have more news coming up soon, And big news, very, very big news. But for now, everyone enjoy your Independence Day holiday, your 4th of July celebrations, your barbecue, your beer, your whiskey, whatever you do for your celebrations. Celebrate safely, be safe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.